ॐ नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे स्वामिने तापहारिणे. Dear friends, Namaste and greetings to all of you. Today we are going to discuss a very important subject on which most of the people they hesitate, and we also cannot speak openly. But since it is recording and you can make use of this recording, so we have taken up this subject, that is Brahmacharya. Is Brahmacharya necessary? This is our topic for discussion today. Is Brahmacharya necessary? Today we see in the society there are different views on this particular subject. Some say it is not necessary. Even doctor says it is not necessary. Our young people, they get confused whether that is correct, that is right or wrong. They do not know what to do, where to go. So therefore, it is very essential to discuss such topics so that all confusions from our mind will go away. Because since we cannot ask anybody such type of questions, and there are very few books you will get on Brahmacharya. And even YouTube, I tried Brahmachari or Sannyasi. When you there search for Brahmachari or Sannyasi, you get only Hindi film. There was a Hindi film Brahmachari, there was a Hindi film Sannyasi, and there the whole thing is distorted. See, that is our condition. Our own culture, we are making fun of it, and it is such a serious matter. So this we do not know, do not realize the seriousness of the subject. You also can find there is a Brahmachari film in Hindi, there is a Sannyasi film in Hindi, but there they are making caricature of it, and that is not the right way. See, these are all very important subject, and this is our culture. This is Indian culture, it is not a Western culture. We just cannot go on blindly imitating. Now, when this subject we have taken up, is Brahmacharya necessary? It is you will have to decide. Do you want strength? Do you want energy? Do you want vigor? Do you want long life? Do you want concentration? Do you want memory? If you want all these things, if you want success, all these things if you want, then you have to practice Brahmacharya. It is not that just I am saying. There is a beautiful verse in Sanskrit where our scriptures are telling how these things we will get by practicing Brahmacharya. You see, Ayus Tejo Balam Viryam Pradnya Sri Mahadyashah Punyam Cha Mat Priyatvam Cha Labhyate Brahmacharyaya. God himself said that by practicing Brahmacharya, he will be very dear to me. He will be a dear devotee of me. See, Punyam Cha Mat Priyatvam Cha Labhyate Brahmacharyaya. So, Ayuhu, Tejoho, Balam, Viryam, Pradnya, Sri, Mahadyashah, and Punyam Cha Mat Priyatvam Cha Labhyate Brahmacharyaya. So by practicing Brahmacharya, when you are going to get all these qualities, then we will be tempted to practice. And it is not just that they have mentioned here. There are many examples. You see, the Hanuman is our ideal, Mahavir. In every village, we have temple of Bajrangbali? Why Samartha Ramdas introduced temples of Hanuman? Why he introduced the worship of Hanuman? Why he started gymnasium to all villages? What was the necessary? Because he knew that we need this practice of Brahmacharya to cultivate all these qualities in us. Otherwise you will be weak, you will be good for nothing, you will not get memory. Even Swami Vivekananda said, because we don't practice Brahmacharya, see what is our condition. What Swamiji says, you see, do you see, simply by the observance of strict Brahmacharya, continence, all learning can be mastered in a very short time. One has an unfailing memory of what one hears or knows but once. It is owing to this want of continence that everything is on the brink of ruin in our country. Brink of ruin. In Marathi we say Satyanash. So we have ruined ourselves because not practicing this great virtue. And here Swamiji says, by practicing Brahmacharya, once you hear or read, you can remember once for all. You develop tremendous power of memory. You develop concentration. All these great qualities you can develop. Even you can earn wealth. You can get intelligence. Now all these things we can get by practicing Brahmacharya. Then why should not we try? This is the question. When Swami Vivekananda is telling, when our scriptures are telling, and when they tell that you are getting all these benefits, because this is energy, this is power, this is strength, this is vigor, and we are simply throwing away, not knowing the importance. So therefore, young friends, remember always, particularly for youth, those who are unmarried, we have this Brahmacharya ashrama. It is a Brahmacharya ashrama. Why Brahmacharya ashrama is there? Because by practicing Brahmacharya, you can acquire all knowledge within short time. What problems you today you feel or you get, that we are not able to remember, we are not able to concentrate, this will not be there. Because earlier days, these Brahmacharis, they used to stay in the ashrama of Guru. And Guru used to teach them Vedas. And by simply listening, they were able to remember everything. That is why it is called Shruti. Shruti means Shravanam. All Vedic knowledge has come to us only by hearing, not by writing. Those days books were not there. So these students, the Brahmachari students, they used to simply hear with concentration. And by listening with concentration, they were able to remember everything. And they passed on to their disciples. That way this knowledge has come to us. When they were able to remember the entire Vedas, why today we are not able to remember even simple things, simple formulas? Because we have neglected all these aspects. And that's why Swamiji says the whole country is on ruin because of this lack of continence, lack of Brahmacharya. So it is very essential. Particularly for students, you are all Vidyarthi. Vidyarthi means seeker of knowledge. You are not Bhogarthi. You are not the seeker of enjoyments. You are not the Artharthi. You are not the seeker of wealth. You are the seeker of knowledge. That's why you are a Vidyarthi. And when you are a student, you have to focus only on knowledge. And that is not possible unless you practice continence. If your mind is running after other things, how can you focus on study? It is impossible. You will not be able to acquire knowledge because you will not have concentration. Mind is wandering here and there. You are running after money, you are running after enjoyments, you are running after so many things. At the same time, you want to study also. How can you focus your mind on studies? Then you simply say, oh, we don't have concentration. we don't have memory, please help us, please guide us. You will have to guide yourself. Nobody can help you. It is you will have to help yourself. You don't follow these great virtues and then simply shout, then what is the use? So therefore it is very essential. Now the next is, what is Brahmacharya? What is Brahmacharya? There are many meanings. Brahmacharya iti Brahmacharya, the mode of life which will be fit to realize the Brahman. The self-control which will help us to realize the highest. Brahmacharya iti Brahmacharya. This is a literal meaning, but direct meaning is controlling our sexual passions. That is the direct meaning. Here in Sanskrit there is one beautiful verse. There is clearly given what is Brahmacharya. Here is it mentioned, Karmana manasa vacha sarvavasthasu sarvada sarvatra maithuna tyago brahmacharyam prachakshate. Very clear-cut definition it is given in our scriptures. Karmana manasa vacha sarvavasthasu sarvada sarvatra maithuna tyago brahmacharyam prachakshate. So here what is Brahmacharya? It is clearly given, and Swami Vivekananda has given a very simple meaning of this verse in his language, because he also is repeating same thing. See what Swamiji says, chastity in thought, word and deed, always and in all conditions, is what is called Brahmacharya. Clearly Swamiji has mentioned, Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, chastity in thought, in word and deed, always and in all conditions, is what is called Brahmacharya. Sarvavasthasu sarvada, clearly given. So we have to practice Brahmacharya not only physical, but on mental level and on speech level also. All these three aspects are important. That is called perfect Brahmacharya. Now here when we control ourselves, our passions, particularly lust, we know it is very dangerous. Even Lord says, Trividham narakasedam dwaram nashanam atmanah kama krodhas tatha lobha tasmadeta trayam tejet. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Trividham narakasedam dwaram nashanam atmanah, destroy the Atman. Kamaha, first is lust, krodha, anger, and lobha, greed. And therefore give up these three enemies. Here the Gita clearly tells us that these are our enemies. So therefore here you see, this is called Brahmacharya. Now there are different types of Brahmacharyas. In our scriptures, there are 8 types are mentioned. There are 8-fold Brahmacharya, 8 types of Brahmacharya, which is very difficult to practice in modern age. But at least we should know, because when we live in society, we have to mix with opposite sex. We just can't avoid. Therefore, this definition is given. It was very old time. Those days it was very practical and possible also. But when time is changed, and in this situation, it will be very difficult. But at least we should know what are the different types of Brahmacharya. Here, 8-fold Brahmacharya is mentioned. Smaranam kirtanam kelihi, prekshanam guhya bhashanam, sankalpo adhyavasayacha, kriya nivrutti ivacha. So here you clearly see the 8 types of Brahmacharya is given. That means if you want to practice Brahmacharya perfectly, then these are the 8 ways that you have to give up, 8 things. Then it is 100% possible. It says Smaranam, Kirtanam, Kelihi. Means constantly we are getting memory of those things. You see, you go on remembering those things again and again. Most of the time, mentally we will be remembering those things. We are reading books, but mind is there. remembering that particular person, whether it is a boy or it is a girl. But in our mind, a thought is that memory is coming again and again. That is also, you see, one type of this a break in Brahmacharya. Smaranam, Kirtanam, always talking about opposite sex. They say Kirtanam is glorifying. Always telling about the qualities of opposite sex. Always praising or all these things. That is also Kirtanam. Kelihi, making fun or joke or playing. All these things are called Kelihi. Prekshanam, continuously looking at opposite sex, whether boy or girl. Continuously looking at it. It will create impression in our mind. All the time looking at the opposite sex. Prekshanam, Guhya Bhashanam, talking secretly when there is nobody. Earlier days it was not allowed, and now there is no need of talking secretly also. Because now society is so open, nobody minds even if you talk. But earlier days, parents were very careful. If they see their daughter is talking with some boy, immediately they will warn her, what you were doing there. It was not allowed in society. You cannot talk with boy or girl secretly. But now this rule will not apply because it is open society and nobody minds that. But this is also a eightfold Brahmacharya it comes, that you should avoid that also. So Guhya Bhashanam, Sankalpo Adhyavasayacha. Sankalpa means we have taken Sankalpa in our mind. Desire has entered in our mind that I want that particular person, whether a boy or a girl. So you have decided mentally that I must get that. That means you made Sankalpa. And Adhyavasayacha, constantly you are meditating only on that. Kriya Nivrutti Ivachan, last is physical intercourse. That physical action, sexual enjoyment, that is the last one, eighth one. But before that, how you are mentally getting slowly attached to that, you see, without your knowledge. And therefore, the mind is not in study, not in work, not in anything. Constantly mind is brooding over that. While talking, while thinking, all the time only remembering those things. How mind will be pure. Therefore, this is called eightfold. Smaranam Kirtanam Kelihi, Prekshanam Guhya Bhashanam, Sankalpo Adhyavasayacha, Kriya Nivrutti Ivacha. This is 8 breaks in Brahmacharya. Those who want to practice perfect Brahmacharya, all these 8 things, they will have to give up. But nowadays, it is very difficult, but anybody want that he must have perfect Brahmacharya. Living in society is very difficult. If we go out to practice tapasya in Himalayas or Narmada bank, there only he will be able to do that. But in living in society, it is very difficult. Those who have dedicated their entire life only for realization of God, they can try, but not the common people living in society. Bit very difficult. It is not that impossible, but difficult. Then what our scripture says about Brahmacharya? Because our scriptures also talk about this Brahmacharya. The importance of the glory of Brahmacharya is given in scriptures. You see, Mundaka Upanishad, that is called Vedanta. In Mundaka Upanishad, there is a verse, and there it is mentioned that if you want to realize Atman, if you want to realize God, if you want to realize self, 3 things are essential. In that 3 things, one is Brahmacharya. You see, Satyena labhyas tapasa hesha atma samyak jnanena brahmacharyena nityam. If you want to realize the Atman, Hesha Atma, then what you should practice? Satyena labhya tapasa brahmacharyena nityam. If you want the samyak knowledge of Atman, then satya, truthfulness. Second is tapasa, austerity. And third is brahmacharya. So by practicing these three things, you will get the knowledge of Atman. That means these are the three conditions. Until and unless we fulfill these conditions, we will not be able to realize the self. Truthfulness. We have seen truth is God. So we have to be truthful. Second, we have to practice austerity. Living in luxury, enjoying all comforts, and at the same time trying to realize the self. That is also not possible. Bhagavan Buddha, how much austerity he practiced, Siddhartha Gautam, to attain that nirvana. We want everything easy going. We want to realize the self. At the same time, we don't want any hardship. It is not possible. And the third one is self-control. Here, not only control of the sexual organ, but controlling of the all senses. Remember, you want to realize the highest, that means you have to self-control, means you have to control all senses. But most important is this, Brahmacharya. This aspect is most important. But others also are necessary. We cannot just neglect them. Controlling of the tongue or hearing, all these things we have to practice. In Bhagavad Gita, what Lord says, you see, Yadi chanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe. Here Lord Krishna says, I am going to tell you that in detail. Yadaksharam, what is that? What is Brahman? What is Omkara? What is Pranava? Omkara is Shabda Brahma. The manifestation of Brahman in the form of Shabda, that is called Om. So, to realize that Om, or to realize that Shabda Brahma, or to realize that Brahman, those who practice Brahmacharya, Yad Icchanto Brahmacharyam Charanti, those who want to realize that, Yad Icchanto, desire, they have strong desire to know Brahman. For that, what they do? They Brahmacharyam Charanti, they practice Brahmacharya. And now I am going to discuss you about that truth. So here in Bhagavad Gita also says that to realize the highest truth, those sages, they practice Brahmacharya and they realize that truth. And what is that truth? That is Om, which I am going to discuss here. Lord Krishna says. So therefore, our scriptures also is supporting. We don't believe anything, that is a different thing. Our saints are only telling. Swami Vivekananda told, Samartha Ramdas Swami told, Bhagavad Gita is telling, Upanishad telling. Now you see, we don't believe all these things. We believe modern people, we believe Western psychology, Western philosophy, we believe modern doctors. What do they know about Brahmacharya? They never practice. Unless they practice, they cannot tell about this. We have such a great ideal in our country. Shankaracharya was there. Many saints were there. Now they are the living examples for us, before us. Now what they said, we don't believe. And what the modern people said, modern scientists says, that we believe. That is our weakness. So here, this is what scripture says. Then what about the married people? Even married people also can practice Brahmacharya. It is not only for Brahmacharya ashrama. It is meant for all. So here you see, we have got 4 ashramas. First one is Brahmacharya, 25 years. Then Grihastha ashram. But that is also up to 50 years. It is never mentioned, nowhere mentioned that Brahmacharya ashrama is over 25. Once you enter in Grihastha ashrama, and there only you will have to die. It is not approved by our scriptures. They say Grihastha ashrama is only for 25 years. After 50 years, you should think about your higher ideal, your goal of life. Your work is over. Your Grihastha Ashrama is over. Why you should enter in Grihastha Ashrama? To continue progeny. This world should continue. To have good children. To educate them, to make them stand on their own feet. Then your job is over. Why do you want to remain there? After 50 years, you should retire into forest. That is called Vanaprastha Ashrama. And after 25 years, Sannyas Ashrama. Sannyas Ashrama is meant for everybody. It is not meant for only few people. You see, when Brahmacharya joined the ashrama, his parents came. You say, they said, no, you cannot stay here. You come to our house and there you practice whatever you want to do. Forcefully they took that boy away. And parents invited all the great Pandit, those who read scriptures. And all Pandits are sitting there, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, with all knowledge. And they arguing this boy. Say, why do you want to become a sannyasi? This is not the age. Whatever scripture says, after 75 years you should take sannyasa. Up to 50 years you should lead a grihastha life. Then after 75 you can become a sannyasi. This is our tradition. This is our system. Why do you want to renounce so early? This is not the way. You are doing the wrong thing. You are going against scriptures. This boy was quietly listening. Then he said, okay, I am ready to remain in the house because it is mentioned in scriptures that after 25 you should become a grihastha householder. I will follow scriptures. But are you ready to follow scriptures? That boy questioned. Our scripture says after 50 years one should go to Vanaprastha, then sannyasa. All of you are here sitting, you all are above 50 years. Some are 60, 70, 80 also. Now will you go to Vanaprastha ashrama? Are you ready? Will you leave your house and go to forest? Those who are above 75, are they ready to take sannyasa? If you are ready to follow scriptures, I also will do that. Because you people don't go, that's why we have to go. Otherwise, why should we go? But what is asked you to do, you are not doing. You are so much attached. Till the end of your life, you remain in Grihastha ashrama. Scripture is not meant for only me. It is for all. And what you are doing, you are not practicing yourself and you are asking me to follow. What type of rule it is? All kept quiet. See, this is the way. Those days 100 years life was there. Nowadays only 80 years or 70 years. Means 20 years Brahmacharya, 20 years Grihastha, 20 years Vanaprastha, 20 years Sannyasa. So therefore in Grihastha ashrama also, why Grihastha ashrama is there? So that you have good children. It is called Dharma Patni, Sahadharmini. Wife and husband should help each other on the path of Dharma, path of spirituality. They should also have self-control. It is not a license for enjoyment. To have good children, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, after 1 or 2 children, wife and husband should live like a brother and sisters. Sri Ramakrishna himself was married, but there was no physical relationship between wife and husband. He could lead such a pure life of brahmachari. And he took sannyasa also. All the 4 ashramas he could practice in one life. See, this is the ideal for the householder. It is not that householder should not practice. They also should have self-control. All your sages were married, but they were rishis. All the great sages, how they became rishis? By self-control. To show that ideal, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself married, to show the example for people. And he could realize the highest. He became a great sage, incarnation. So it is not that once you get married means finish everything and you cannot progress in spiritual life. Even married people also can realize the self, also can realize the Atman. But they also should have self-control. There should be Sayyama. So then if they practice Brahmacharya, after 1 or 2 children, they meditate, they pray, they also will reach the highest goal. So therefore, even for married people also, practice of Brahmacharya is necessary. Even Mahatma Gandhi, at the age of 36, he started practice Brahmacharya. And he said, I could get so much energy only because of practicing Brahmacharya, with the permission of Kasturba. So you see, even Gandhiji practiced. If you read his book, My Experiments with Truth, there he has mentioned clearly. And he said that every householder should practice, otherwise the whole country will go to ruin. Even Gandhiji also said same thing. So therefore, for married people also it is essential. Now, the main question is how to practice. Because it is a very, very difficult task. It is not meant for all. Tremendous strength is required to fight with this enemy, what we call lust. Only heroic soul can do that. You need a tremendous strength. It is not a joke. Even people, if they listen, if they hear that somebody is practicing Brahmacharya, they get frightened. They even cannot dream that how it is possible. How it is possible? Arey Baba, there are people living. If it is possible for them, why not for you? Swami Vivekananda lived. Samat Ramdas Swami could live Brahmacharya life. They could do 100%. We can at least 50%, 60% we can practice. There are many monks, not only in Hinduism, in Buddhism, in Christianity, in Catholic, there are many monks and nuns. Even Sarda Math, there are nuns. Ramakrishna Math, there are sannyasis. Now there are so many people, they are practicing. If it is possible for them, then why not for us? Why should we lose confidence? It may be difficult, but remember, it is not impossible. Everything is possible. So here don't say that it is impossible and we will not be able to do that. There is a way. We have to learn those way. You directly cannot fight with your enemy. Just like Shivaji Maharaj, he did the Ganimi Kawa. You see how he could win the battle. Not directly fighting, but hiding and then fighting. This enemy directly we cannot fight, we cannot challenge. But then there are ways. And if we practice that, certain extent we will be successful in this. Need not be discouraged. Don't say it is impossible. It will not possible for us. Because it is essential. It is a part of our life. It is the Indian way of life. We are all born in India. We just can't go on imitating Western culture. So here we have our own culture. And therefore we have to hold on to it. So how to do that? I will tell you some points. 10 or 12 points I will tell you. Try to practice regularly. At least for 1 year or 2 years you try. I am sure you will get results. You will get good results. The first one is repetition of mantra. You see, at the age of 7, particularly in Brahmin, you know there is Upanayanam, there is a Munja, sacred thread ceremony. At the age of 7, they teach that boy how to practice Brahmacharya. They give the sacred thread. He has to do everyday Sandhya. Sandhya he has to do, Gayatri he has to do. Now what is Sandhya and Gayatri? Gayatri is a mantra. It is a Vedic mantra. It was discovered by sage. So it is coming down to us from Vedas. So this Gayatri mantra is a very powerful. all Brahmacharyas, when they get initiation in Brahmacharya, this mantra is given, Gayatri mantra. Why it is given? Because it is meant for students. It is meant for Brahmacharis to protect their Brahmacharya and to develop intellect. Gayatri mantra is very important. And these boys, they practice particularly in Brahmin house. That's why children become so smart. They develop concentration and memory. So, by repeating Gayatri mantra, we can control our passions. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. So, in this Gayatri mantra, what is mentioned? Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Dhi means buddhi. And what we are praying, O Lord, enlighten my intellect, make my intellect sharp, because we need intellect. Why? To discriminate between right and wrong. Why people don't practice Brahmacharya? Because they don't know how it is important. They are not able to discriminate and they fall prey to all sorts of temptations. Their intellect is not functioning. They don't realize how it is dangerous to lose Brahmacharya, to lose Virya, how it is dangerous, they don't realize. Means their intellect is not functioning. Whatever their mind says, all passions and lust, anger, they are simply carried away. Their intellect should tell mind, no, this is wrong. Don't do that. This is a crime. You will go to jail. You will be hanged. It is not good. This intellect is not able to tell. That's why so much rape and all these things we see society. They commit such a blunders. Even good people, elderly people, ultimately they go to jail, they suffer, they commit all crimes. But their intellect is not functioning. By Gayatri mantra, you will develop your intellect. And by such intellect, sharp intellect, you will know that indulging in such type of activities is very bad. It is very bad for you. You will lose all power and vitality and energy and strength and memory and everything you will lose. You will be able to decide. You will be able to discriminate. So you need intellect. And therefore, you should repeat Gayatri mantra. Regularly, at least 108 times you practice Gayatri mantra. See, you will not have these lustful thoughts all the time. You will be able to control some extent. It will purify your mind. It will remove all bad impressions from your mind. This is the one way to practice Brahmacharya. That is repeating mantra. Then our attitude we have to change. You see, when we live in this society, we have to mix with everybody. You cannot discriminate that he is a man and he is a woman. We have to work in office, we have to go to college. There is co-education system. We can't avoid opposite sex. We have to talk, we have to discuss. So therefore, there is no escape. Modern day, we cannot just live alone. So here, we have to change our attitude. We have to look upon woman as mother or sister or goddess, Durga, Lakshmi, whatever it may be. So we have to change our attitude towards women or opposite sex. That will help us. Now you see, when we are in family, what we say? We have 5 people in house. My mother is there, my sister is there, my father and brother and I. You see, we don't say there are 3 males and 2 females. We never say like that. We develop that relationship. That is our Hindu culture. Always we say Mausi, Kaku. Why we say? Didi, Tai, Bhabhi. We say like that because we change our attitude. We look upon them as a Bhabhi, or Didi, or sister, or mother. Swami Vivekananda used to call mother. When he went to America, all women he used to call mothers. So that is our culture. Ma. We say Ma. Even small girl also we say Ma. So here, this changing in attitude, looking upon woman as not only object of enjoyment, but she is a mother, she is a sister, she is a goddess herself, she is a Durga. So when we change our attitude, then those thoughts will not disturb us. Because now women is not only women. Don't look upon woman as woman, but look upon with different relations. There is no only one relation that woman means only the object of enjoyment. No, that is wrong attitude. And that's why we have suffered. We always used to say, oh, woman is a Maya and we should reject her. She is a mother, not Maya. Divine Mother herself has come in the form of woman. We should respect her. We should bow down to her. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, even he worshipped his own wife. He was looking upon her as a goddess, Kali. See, there are such examples. So by changing our attitude towards women, we can control this lust. We can feel that they are our sisters, they are our friends. Even Swami Vivekananda had many friends. So their disciples also were there. And Miss MacLeod, she said, no, I am not a disciple of Swamiji, I am a friend of Swamiji. So there was friendship, but not even single bad thoughts in their minds. That is the way. That way we can control. So you see, by changing our attitude, by repeating mantra and determination, tremendous willpower should be there. That at any cost I must control, I must practice Brahmacharya. You have to have willpower. You see, it is not in the beginning itself you will achieve success. It may take time, but don't give up. Okay, I will again try. Again there will be fall, but again you go on trying. If you go on trying again and again, it may take time, but if you have tremendous willpower, that unless I succeed, I will not give up. I will not feel discouraged. All right, once in a month or twice in a month, I should see that I should not lose my semen. This protecting virya is very important. That is energy and you are simply throwing away. So here you have to have tremendous determination and willpower. Without determination, without willpower, it is very difficult. It is not that in the beginning itself you will achieve success. But because you are not able to do that, you should never get discouraged and give up. You have to try again and again. Ultimately you will succeed. But you have to do that. And then regular practice exercise. You see, when we do exercise, we want to make our body strong. Then we automatically practice Brahmacharya. You see, all wrestlers, all bodybuilders, they practice Brahmacharya. You go to gymnasium, they are all wrestlers. They keep the photo of Hanumanji and they practice strict Brahmacharya because they know that if they want a good health, they want energy, they want to fight, then if they have to compete with other, then they should have strength in body, and they know without Brahmacharya it is not possible. So regular exercise will keep your body fit. If you don't practice exercise, all energy will go away. Not in consciously, in dream. You may get some bad dreams. You may not able to digest food. Because of indigestion you will get gas and you will get all sorts of bad dreams, wet dreams. So that way you will lose your energy. So therefore regular practice of exercise. See, that's why Hanumanji, see his body. Even Samartha Ramdas, Nashik, every day he used to practice this Dandbaski, Surya Namaskar, and see his body how well built up. Swami Vivekananda, Hanuman, Samartha Ramdas, they used to practice exercise even till the end of their life. So regular practice of exercise, as I told you, determination, repetition of mantra, and then introspection. We have to introspect. You have to tell your mind, See my mind, if you indulge in all sorts of things, you will not be able to focus your mind on study. Then how you will achieve success? We have to give suggestions to our mind. You see, oh my mind, don't wander, don't think such thoughts, because that is the energy is going away. I am not able to focus on my studies. So those things are not meant for me. We have to give suggestion to your mind, positive suggestions. Constantly, oh my mind, if you indulge in these things, then you may be punished. If people come to know, your parents come to know, if society come to know, then what they will talk about you, what they will think about you. You will not be able to show your face. You may commit any crime. How dangerous it is. So be careful. Don't indulge. Afterwards something happens, you have to pay for it. You will have to suffer for it. You may go to jail also. You may commit any blunder. You may commit any crime. There are many people in jail and they are all professors and all teachers. They have committed some blunders and now they are suffering there in jail. It is only because of they could not control their lustful emotions. They committed blunder and now they are repenting. So we have to go on telling our mind these things. You see, because of such things, how many people are suffering? Do you want to suffer? It is called introspection. They are all my brothers, they are all my sisters, and how can I look upon them like this? So constantly giving positive suggestion to our mind, certain extent we can control our mind. So this is introspection. All negative thoughts we must remove from our mind. Whenever such thoughts come to our mind, Patanjali says, Vitarka badhane pratipaksha bhavana. When you get lustful thoughts in your mind, immediately bring good thoughts. Replace all bad thoughts with good thoughts. Suppose you are getting lustful thoughts. I have seen one girl in Hyderabad. She was playing Hanuman Chalisa. I asked her, why you are playing Hanuman Chalisa? She said, Swamiji, today my mind was full of bad thoughts. I was not able to control. So I took bath and I put on the Hanuman Chalisa. This is Hanumanji's photo. I sit before Hanumanji with folded hand, and along with this cassette, along with this Hanuman Chalisa, I also start chanting. And within 15 minutes, all bad thoughts will disappear from my mind. I overcome all bad thoughts, all lustful thoughts. See, she found out the solution. That means if you get bad thoughts, you bring immediately good thoughts, replace bad thoughts. That is the way. Or you can pray to God. Oh God, please protect me from these negative thoughts. They are overpowering me. I may do anything wrong. I want to practice Brahmacharya perfectly. This is the way. So replace your negative thoughts with positive thoughts. This is also one way. So there we have seen that introspection, giving up bad company. When we live with people, those who are indulging in such wrong things, they will influence us. They say peer pressure. So we have to be very careful. We have to give up the company of such people, those who will influence our thoughts. All the time they are discussing only about these things. They are very dangerous. Better not to have friends. Books are our good friends. But why to mix with such people, those who are pulling us down? So bad company we have to give at any cost. Bad means those who are indulging in such type of activities, drinking, drugs and all these things, parties, going for party and all, rave parties. So that is wrong. You do not know where you are going. You are degrading yourself. So therefore, give up bad company. And you have to change your habits. Now if you are getting up at 8 o'clock, that is a very bad habit. You have to get up early morning, because most of the times you get bad dreams in the early morning, or you get wet dreams in the early morning. If you get 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, you will not have bad dreams. You will not lose your ceremony in a dream. So change your habit. Go to bed early, get up early. Your habit of foods. Don't eat exciting foods. If you go on eating exciting food, it will create again problem. So therefore, develop habit of regularly practicing meditation. Every day sit for half an hour in meditation, morning and evening. You see, cultivate good habits. You have now so many bad habits. You don't get up early morning, you don't sleep early night, and you indulge in all sorts of things. Here you have to have, first thing is changing your habits. Pray regularly to God. Whenever you get bad thoughts, pray to God. Regularly practice meditation, because you are developing good habits. So by changing habits, also we can control our mind. And then alert. We have to be constantly alert. A little carelessness and you are gone. Many times we are not alert. All these things will come. Our mind should be alert. Before danger, we should be able to sense that there is danger. We should keep away. Afterwards, what is the use? There are many such examples. Because of carelessness, they simply slipped from the path. Many great people, even Vishwamitra, you see. Wow, how Menka came in his life and spoiled his tapasya. So here he was not alert. You have to be very alert. Your mind should be alert. Before danger comes, you should know that there is danger. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to tell again and again to his disciples, "Arey, don't go there. She may be a very great devotee, but it is not good. Always keep distance." Here Sri Ramakrishna used to always tell his disciples, warn his disciples. He said, "Sadhu savadhan." Sadhu, be alert. Don't be careless. Otherwise, you will slip from the path. Therefore, alertness also is very essential. Our mind should be always alert, and we should be able to sense that there is danger, and I should not go frequently. I should avoid going there, because I do not know. My mind is not that control. I may fall in prey. So therefore, I have to be careful. Then develop a habit of reading. Always read good books. Always read Bhagavad Gita, Das Bodh, or such type of books where you will get that confidence. Read Swami Vivekananda's life. Read Swami Vivekananda's thoughts. So when we read good literature, then we get good thoughts. And when our mind is full of good thoughts, bad thoughts automatically will disappear. So today our mind is empty, and empty mind is devil's workshop. So therefore we have to remove bad thoughts the only way by putting there good thoughts. And how good thoughts will come? Only by reading scriptures, reading good books, reading life of great people, reading about Brahmacharya. There is book written by Shivanandaji. I have also written one book, Youth Arise, Awake and Know Your Strength, published from Hyderabad. There is one special chapter on Brahmacharya. Whatever questions will come to your mind, you will find answer in that book. I have tried my best. When I was in charge of Human Excellence, Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, I was director. Many young people used to come and ask questions on Brahmacharya. Specially for them, I have written that book. Youth Arise, Awake and Know Your Strength. And there is one special chapter on strength of Brahmacharya. You read that. So there are many such books on Brahmacharya. Try to read such books. That will increase your confidence. So reading habits also is necessary. So here all these points we are discussing. What is the purpose? So that we should be able to control this enemy. Otherwise, we will be in danger. So here we have to be aware that what we are doing. And lastly, temptations will come. Therefore, we have to be very careful. When we watch certain things on our cell phone, internet, there are many dirty things, very vulgar things, and your mind will be tempted to watch such things. Now, how careful you should be. You should not watch such things. There will be many temptations. Go to market, go to college. Many things will be there to tempt you. When Swamiji went to America, how many temptations were there? When he addressed, the Parliament of Religions on 11 September 1893, after lecture was over, many young girls went to Swamiji to shake hand, and one old lady was standing behind. She said, if this young man can digest all these things, that young girls, I will say that he is a god. Now you see, everybody wanted that young girls to shake hand with Vivekananda. But Swami Vivekananda was never tempted. And that lady said, he is not a man, he is a god. He was not carried away by any temptations. She put a big life-size photos in her house. Vivekananda's photos. He said, he is a god, he is not a man. I have seen him in Parliament of Religions, and that time I have seen how many girls were after him. But he was able to control himself, was not carried away by temptations. So these are the things. When we live in this society, many sorts of temptations will come. And that time you have to be very careful. Many offers will come, even Swamiji also. Many young girls, women, they offered, Swamiji, please marry with us. We will give you everything, our property and all wealth and everything will be yours. Swami said, no, that is not my dharma. I am a sannyasin. I have to practice Brahmacharya. You see, so many temptations. But he was 30 years, a young man of 30 years. Never he was tempted by anything. So this is the way. So this way we have to practice Brahmacharya. This is the way that we can do that. And if by doing that, we can certainly succeed. I have told you almost 12 points. And then you will say, Swamiji, it is very difficult to remember. So I will give you one formula. Remember that formula. All points in sequence you will remember. Because in mathematical formula also you have to memorize. And when you memorize those mathematical formulas, it is very easy for you to solve the problem because you remember everything. So here also I made one simple formula for you. You remember that formula, all these points will come to your mind. And you will remember that what you should do. How should you practice Brahmacharya? What is the way of practicing Brahmacharya? So I have made a small mantra. So remember that, it is very easy. And you remember that and then try to keep these points in your mind. Now it is made in India. That's all. It is how easy, made in India. Because you are all made in India. You are not a foreign product. You are not born in foreign land. You are born in India. Always we want to import everything from foreign countries. But don't import at least culture. We have Indian culture here. Don't import Western culture. Because you are made in India. And India has got a good culture. So remember this word, made in India. You are all made in India. What is made in India? M-A-D-E, made. I-N, in, and Indian, Bharat. Made in Bharat, B-H-A-R-A-T. So you are made in Bharat. India also is foreign word. So Bharat is our word. So made in Bharat, B-H-A-R-A-T. So remember this, made in Bharat. So made in Bharat, MADE, M for mantra, Gayatri mantra, A for attitude, changing attitude, D for determination, and E for exercise. MADE, made. That means mantra, attitude, determination, exercise. In, introspection. And N, negative thoughts, remove negative thoughts. Made in Bharat. B means bad company, avoid bad company. H means change your habits. Practice meditation, prayer, get up early in the morning, change your habits. BHA. A means attachment. Give up your attachment to opposite sex. Don't simply run after. When you are attached to a particular girl or boy, you cannot live without that person. Many young people, they commit suicide. They said, my heart is broken because that girl has left me, that boy has left me. So BHA, A means give up your attachment to particular person, to boy or girl. Don't run after, don't go on crying and weeping. She has left me, or he has left me, now what I can do? I cannot live without her or without him. That is not the way. BHA, give up attachment. R means develop habit of reading good books. BHAR. And A means be alert all the time, alertness. And T means temptations, away from temptations. So BHARAT, Bharat, made in Bharat. Mantra, attitude, determination, exercise. Introspection, negative thoughts, bad company, habits, attachment, reading, alertness, and temptations. These are the 12 points for you to remember, so that you will try to practice Brahmacharya at least. And this is the way. Now our last point is, what is Ojas? Swami Vivekananda says, by practicing Brahmacharya, we develop Ojas. Ojas means the essence of all our virya. You see, virya is the essence of food. They say sapta dhatu. The last dhatu is virya. That means refined one. The all different, your bones are there, skin is there, all the different things are there. Majja is there. So it is called the highest, the supreme, the subtle. The subtle power is virya. That is the finest energy created out of food. And by preserving that, it will go to brain. And there it will accumulate. And when that ojas is accumulated in brain, it develops a nadi, medha nadi. And by developing that medha nadi, whatever you read or whatever you listen, you will remember. Tremendous memory power will come to you. Your mind will be very sharp. Your intellect will be very sharp. You will be very bright and smart fellow. You will be very intelligent because you have got more ojas in your brain. You will not be an ordinary person. You will be an extraordinary person. People will recognize your greatness because you have more ojas in your brain. Your brain is not like an ordinary brain, those who have wasted all their virya. You have converted your virya into ojas. Now you are Superman. You are extraordinary man. And therefore, we should not waste our energy. There is a prayer, the prayer in Rigveda. They say, O God, please give me ojas. Ojosi ojomai dheyi. O God, you are the embodiment of ojas. So give me that ojas. That ojas will come to us. That energy will be converted into ojas. And that will go to brain. Not only that, you will develop tremendous immunity power in you. You will not fall sick easily. You will have tremendous strength within your body. So that is the power. So he will be a very healthy person. Physically, mentally, intellectually. He will not go into depression. He will be very strong even mentally also. So this is the power of ojas. So before concluding, we will have this prayer. What is in Rigveda, where we are praying to God, O Lord, give me all these things. So this prayer we will chant at the end, and we shall conclude our today's talk. So here, Tejosi Tejomai Dehi, Viryamasi Viryamai Dehi, Balamasi Balamai Dehi, Ojosi Ojomai Dehi, Manyurasi Manyumai Dehi, Sahosi Sahomai Dehi. O Lord, you are the embodiment of energy, vigor, strength, power, courage, and patience. So endow me with all these great qualities. This is the prayer to God. So Tejosi Tejomai Dehi, Viryamasi Viryamai Dehi, Balamasi Balamai Dehi, Ojosi Ojomasi Dehi, Manyurasi Manyumai Dehi, and Sahosi Sahomai Dehi. God, give all these qualities to me or us, so that we will become successful in our life. So this is the importance of practice of Brahmacharya, and therefore we have to try our best to preserve our viryam, so that we can achieve everything in life. We can get long life, we can get wealth, we can get power, we can get vigor, we can get energy, we can get strength, we can get all these things. So all positive things will come to us only by practicing Brahmacharya, and therefore how it is important, how it is worth practicing. Though we may have to struggle little, but that struggle, when you achieve success in that, you will be a very happy person in this world. You will become like a god. So peace and happiness and everything will come to you, because this enemy is ruining our life. So be aware and practice what here we have studied just now. So here we shall conclude our topic, today's topic. Thank you. Namaskar. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tassat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.